Hey everyone, how's it going? Back on the video here. And today I want to talk a little bit about something I've been seeing a little bit more with the people that I'm working with. And some of the people that I work with, they're fortunate enough to, and myself actually, fortunate enough to order their own blood work, maybe going outside a doctor to get just additional blood markers and stuff like that aren't covered under insurance. And obviously, they pay for that stuff out of pocket, but sometimes it can be insightful for them to get additional information, especially if they're particularly struggling with something. Obviously, you want all of your blood work to be reviewed by a medical professional after you get it done. That's extremely important. You shouldn't be trying to interpret this stuff yourself. You shouldn't be relying on anything else other than a medical professional who's trained in reading blood work to interpret the results. That said, what I often see happen to a lot of people these days is that they pick a company to get their blood work through, and they go through and order the blood work, and the blood work is very comprehensive, and results come back. And because maybe they don't have a doctor or they don't trust their doctor that they're working with, they have some medical professional that works with the company that ordered the blood work to interpret those results. And then that's a good thing as long as they're actually trained medical professionals. But what I then see happen is that people then get recommended a whole bunch of supplements. And I have nothing against supplements. I take my fair share of supplements for sure. I think they can be a useful tool. But when I'm working with someone as a health coach, I have insights into their lifestyle, right? And oftentimes the medical professional doesn't necessarily push the lifestyle interventions because, to be frank, they're not going to make money off of the lifestyle interventions, but they will push supplements on the individual. And that's because they will push supplements onto the individual because they can make money off of the supplements. And I think, when you have the complete context of the individual and you understand that they still have a long ways to go to make a lot of progress just by lifestyle interventions alone. Oftentimes, the supplements are not where I would think should start. Because if, for example, they still have a lot of things they can improve within their diet, they still have a lot of things they can improve with their exercise and everyday movement, they have a lot of things they can improve with their sleep. A lot of the blood markers that are triggering these supplement recommendations can actually be addressed just by dealing with lifestyle. That's not always the case, right? For example, vitamin D is a great one, right? Like vitamin D is an important vitamin. We get it. The best intervention to improve your vitamin D status is to be outside in the sunlight, but sometimes it's just not possible, right? For example, it's April 20th here as I'm recording this, and it snowed yesterday here in New Hampshire, and I was bundled up this today, right? So even though now I can technically probably get some vitamin D from the sun, it's still a little chilly outside to even be uncomfortable to have my skin absorb it, right? So it's one thing to be at a latitude and actually be able to get vitamin D from the sun if your skin is exposed. And lots of times people live at latitudes where they can't do that. The sun just during the winter time is just not out long enough or at the right angle in order for you to produce and absorb that sunlight and get vitamin D. And then even if you were able to, you're too cold. It's too cold to be outside with your skin exposed. In those cases, and this is true for myself and it's probably true virtually for every person that lives in those types of climates, supplementing with vitamin D is a great thing, right? You should do it 100%, right? There's other supplements, and I'm not trying to recommend supplements. I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but there's other things that have a lot of strong evidence. For example, omega-3s have a lot of strong evidence behind them for taking or improving cardiovascular health, right? And if you're not someone who eats a lot of fish or has access to fish in general, supplementing with omega-3s is probably a great thing, right? A worthwhile supplement to consider. There's certainly other supplements where things might not be the best thing, right? For example, supplements recommended to control blood sugar, right? Yeah, you might be able to take some kind of supplement to help you regulate your blood sugar after you eat a meal, But if you maybe modified what you're eating and not having highly processed carbohydrates, or after you had a meal with carbohydrates in it, you went for a walk, that would do so much more for your blood sugar than any supplement out there would possibly do. And not to mention that going for the walk afterwards can potentially get you some vitamin D because you're exposed to the sun if it's the right time of the year and you're able to expose your skin. You can have a lot of stress relief benefits. It obviously is burning some calories. There's the multiple effect of going for a walk. Also, it's free. You don't have to pay any money for it. It has a major impact on your blood sugar and so many other things. And a supplement recommendation on that is not just doesn't even bat an eye in comparison to effectiveness. Again, no one's making money from telling someone to go for a walk, right? So if you're a company, like obviously you're going to recommend the supplements because those are the most effective. Those are the most effective from a business point of view. So it's obviously a nuanced conversation, but I think that if you find yourself in this situation where you are, whether you're getting blood work done and someone is also recommending supplements along with that, or if you are just through other content creation mechanisms getting pushed a lot of supplements on you, I think first you need to have an honest conversation with yourself and say, okay, what is my lifestyle like? Are there more things that I should be doing from a lifestyle perspective that could move the needle more and be more effective for my health than having to pay money for supplements that maybe what might work a little bit, but probably pale in comparison to making these lifestyle interventions. Now, it's great because I'm not saying this is easy, right? It's easy for me to say, right? I can sit here all day and say, oh, going for a walk after every meal is the most effective thing. And it sounds super easy to do, but putting it into practice is a lot harder and it takes effort, right? Taking a pill is easy. Exercising, going to bed on time, constructing your meals in a proper way, getting in your 10,000 steps, those are actually very hard to do. And I'd 100% completely resonate with that. But oftentimes the things that are the hardest to do often have the biggest impact and the most benefit for us. And that's where I really help. That's where I try to help, right? Like I am a lifestyle first person. Most of the things that I'm working on with my clients are just trying to figure out how to fit these things into their lifestyle so that they become habits so that they do them all the time. And certainly there's a place where you can work on your lifestyle habits and supplement at the same time. That's okay too. But I don't want people to think that supplements are the answer because it's not talked about how effective lifestyle is for improving your health. It is by far going to make the biggest difference outside of any supplement out there. And it can be life-changing, but it's also extremely hard to do. And I completely understand that. But believe me, it's possible. Even if you're a busy professional with a family and a busy job and all this stuff, I'm right there with you. Midlife, I work a full-time job, a part-time job. I have 2 kids, a wife. I have lots of other things on my plate. I can tell you right now, it is possible to make these lifestyle changes, to improve your diet, to improve your sleep, to improve your exercise, to improve your movement, to be healthier. And that's what I specialize in, working with people. I can relate to you and I know all the tips and tricks about how to make things possible for people at this stage of life. So if you're interested in that, please, the best thing to do, the easiest thing to do is subscribe to my newsletter. Go to rjvhealth.coach, click on the newsletter link at the top of the page. That's where I put all my content for free, these videos, etc., to help you get to make these lifestyle interventions possible for you. If you need some catered help in making changes in your life, I have one-on-one coaching spots open. You can reach out to me directly. You can go to rjbhealth.coach, click on the schedule discovery call button right on the homepage, fill out that form, and we can chat a little bit more about what it looks like to work on one-on-one stuff together on this stuff. So with that, I hope everyone has a great week, and I'll talk to you all soon.